Хэсэд, Тиква. A small mountainous country in Central Asia. It became a home for 18,000 Jews evacuated here during World War II. They fled here from the fascist plague from Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova and Russia. Physicians, scholars, engineers, Jewish experts made a big contribution to the post-war development of the country. Torn off their native places from their Jewish roots, they were losing their mother tongue and traditions. But even then, in the years of hardships, when it was impossible to proudly pronounce the word Jew, they preserved their unity with the Jewry and always supported each other. The 90s, the years of perestroika and the breakup of the Soviet Union, opened to many Jews the road to the historic motherland, Israel. There were the years of great Aliyah, but those who stayed were facing poverty. At that time, 10 years ago, in Kyrgyzstan, the Jewish Cultural Society Menorah was established. It became a center for studying traditions and the language of the Jewish people, a center of charity to help many Jews who were confused by dramatic changes in their lives. Esfir Serebro, Sima Kajdan, Rosa Talskaya, Frida Gorovich, their names are written in golden letters in the history of Menorah. They came to help hundreds of people, to help all Jews of Kyrgyzstan, as well as worldwide. There came the US-based Giant. Its idea that all Jews are responsible for each other was adopted by Menorah, by the entire Jewish community. The library of 5,000 books, food aid, this is all Giant's help. And the Jewish Cultural Society Menorah is headed by a well-respected person in the country, Dr. Boris Shapiro. We're all happy that today we're all together. We're really all together. And our two schools, the Chaim Hochstein and Sunday school and our religious community and the newspaper of the diaspora, Mayan, we're all together. Alongside with that, we are very proud that we were able to set up the charitable society, Хэсэд Тиква. This is a palpable thing, you know. What we were dreaming of came true. The Хэсэд Tикva opened its doors in December '97, and that day became remarkable for all Jews in Kyrgyzstan. What they found here was love, care, and compassion. It was set up with the support of the joint representatives Stanley Abramovitz, Max Wiesel, and others. It became a home for all Jews in Kyrgyzstan. Its hostess and soul, an idea generator is Deputy Chair of Menorah, Rosa Fish. In this 18 months, she achieved the main goal. The Хэсэд Tикva became a true home where all Jews, young and old, sick and lonely, feel warm and fine. Up to 500 of such food bags are given monthly and on holidays. The elderly and lonely people whose pension is $8 to $10 a month. In the Хэсэd dining room, they can have free lunch every day, but not all can come here. Most of the elders are more than 75, so they have their meals delivered home. And it's not only about food. The Хэсэd is taking care of sick. It's Alla Volkovich, Rosa Shafir, Alat Kachman, Tamara Levitus Kuzmenkin, Shura Weinerman feel responsible for everybody. Their major concern is the health of those who survived wars, pogroms, separation with their children. They are relieved from almost all problems: house cleaning, laundry, and bathing. They have been taken care of like in the family. With the help of Joint, the Хэсэd Tикva is able to provide elderly people with state-of-the-art rehabilitation medical equipment and medicines. 26 volunteers, excellent Jewish physicians, are providing free medical services. All Jews are responsible for each other. The good can always find its way to people's heart. This apartment was left to the Хэсэd Tикva by will of a lonely and ailing woman, Lydia Primak, of whom the Хэсэд was taking care in her last days. Today, in this warm house, elderly people come to have lunch, birthday parties. Kind hands, kind heart, and the smile of the hostess, Irina Harmats, warm up the heart of lonely, elderly people who have now a real family. Even their age and loneliness, tormenting these people more than poverty, are forgotten here. And how happy they are when their phone rings and volunteer announcer invite them for a meeting in the Хэсэd. These meetings on Sundays has various programs like People's University of Jewish Traditions and Judaism, political monitoring of what's happening in Israel and CIS countries, lawyers' consultations, clubs of teachers, doctors, war veterans, and literature. And of course, the holidays. It's amazing that so many people can fit in this room of the Хэсэd Tikva. It is Purim with its history, with traditional homintashes, and a splendid concert presented by the students of the Chaim Hochstein School. The unity of the young and old generations reigned supreme at that holiday. The Jews were always proud of their children, and the children were raised to respect the elderly. Before, we were severed from the jury, but now at least we know who we are and what we are. Having come to this house, I felt that people of all specialities treat people in a human way and compassion. They care about all aspects of people's life. I even don't know how they learn that people are sick, for example, but they know it immediately to rush to help. I want to say that they are selfless people. They are volunteers working here enthusiastically. I also wanted to help, and they said, "Can you work as an announcer?" I said, "Sure." So I make announcements over the phone, and I like it. My voice has become familiar, and people thank me. I know who is sick and who needs a nice talk, and this is great.
Хэсэд — это действительно дом, где можно встретиться.
Хэсэd is a real home where you can meet friends. Next to me is my schoolmate, Rosa Vendrova. She's a well-known chess player and a chess player for the whole country.
Это как наш общий дом.
This is really our common home. I come here to see my friends and to meet new people. I even volunteered to teach adults and children to play chess. Today's Passover holiday is very interesting to me. It was my first time here, and I learned a lot about Jewish culture and traditions, and in all I feel great pleasure and the cordial warmth over here.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz.
The Passover holiday, Pesach, has always had a special message for Jews. It symbolizes a once lost and a newly gained freedom, joint help to finance the first publication of Passover Seders in Bishkek. This holiday was marked solemnly and joyfully. There were many guests from Israel and the US. The Хэсэd host did their best for adults and children. All the Jews feel good on their springtime day, for all of them to feel like one Jewish family. Nice and warm, just like at home. People care, and the community is so much united. We'll always remember this day, this Seder, and as they rightly say, on Passover, next year in Jerusalem. Jews are responsible for each other, and all Jews have memory. Nobody can forget about the 6 million victims of the Holocaust. They all come together on the Memorial Day, remembered names who perished, and lightened the candles. In grief and joy, the Jews of Kyrgyzstan come to their warm home, the Хэсэд Tикva. Everyone here gets the kindness, attention, aid, and tries to help other people. How did it happen that in only 18 months it became so attractive for all? And what are the happiest days for its director, Rosa Fish? When there are people here, when many come here, when they're smiling, when it's obvious that they can't live without it, and they need it. And when I once asked, what happens if this Хэсэd is closed for whatever reason, what will happen to the people? I said, it will be very bad. The Хэсэd must always be, because elderly people pass away, unfortunately. The other grow old, and in such hard economic environment, in any economic environment, we need it. And thanks to joint, we were able to become responsible for each other. And thanks to that responsibility, we were able to survive. A lot of talented people showed up. Maybe it's ethnocentrism that our people are very talented, but here you become convinced of that. There are a lot of my old friends whom we meet very rarely in town, in our Bishkek, but here it's a real pleasure to meet them, and when we embrace each other, this is unbelievable. We come here to see the art of Kamensky. This is very important, to meet the artist Fleckman. This is very important. Borov, a journalist, spoke about the world's culture. Yarkov, an ethnic Russian, told us about the contribution of Jews into the Kyrgyz culture. We're attracted by the opportunity of spiritual communications. All people can be lost and separated, but only those who are compassionate can stand to it. He who visited home once will never forget the hearts and friendly hands. May your mind be kind, may your heart be wise, thus all your dreams come true. The Хэсэd Tикva must always be, because it became a house of hope for all Kyrgyzstan Jews. It became a holiday of finding Jewry and people who come here over and over again, realizing themselves as a part of the Jewish people where everyone is responsible for each other.